Okay, it's time for yet another tutorial here. On behalf of doing these, I find it more convenient if I just use my voice to give instructions, since it's easier than to type it. So, the way this effect works is, it's not necessarily that you do the effect and you zoom in, which clearly causes the image to distort and stretch. What you actually do with the part is you pre-render the area you want to do the effect in. So for example, when I do my extra ball part, it actually originally looks like this. So with that so nothing is zooming in, it's just plain, which is how it should be. And then afterwards, you take what you have, I call it a preset. I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's a better name for it, but I just call it a preset, so it's easier. So afterwards you have your preset ready. You take your pen and crop, and you basically start doing what I call a camera effect. It's not necessarily a camera effect, it just makes it easier to explain, calling it that. So you use your pan and crop and you pretty much zoom in to your part. My Vegas is kind of lagging, excuse me. And you just... So then, let me read this because it's really loud. So then you have something like this, which is, I don't know exactly what I did to make it the way it is in the video, but since this is just a visual example of what happened, I'm not gonna go immensely in detail for this, but that's kind of basically what you do. And then kind of split it, the S button, and then you just move it the way you wanted it to. It's usually a 3 keyframe trick I use for these. And then the last one's usually the most difficult, considering, okay, the last part is this. And from here it's kind of harder to go from one screen to the other, but the effect is pretty simplistic. At least I think it is. It's kind of tricky, you could say, at first, because you're not entirely used to it. By the way, when you're doing this, be extra careful. There's no like black bars appearing out of nowhere, because I accidentally actually made that mistake in the part, but because it moved fast, I don't think many people noticed that unless they watched it multiple times. Yeah, I would have fixed it, but I was really tired and I didn't want to stay up a while longer to finish it. Okay. Then, yeah. Usually what happens is, when I make these, you don't, necessarily, how do I put it? You don't necessarily just, like, move the pan crop. Usually what I sequence it in is what I call a bounce effect, which is, once you see it, how I make it, you notice it's in everything I edit, but it basically goes like, you have your normal one, and then the second one, you make it to where you want it to be, but you zoom in a little bit more than you actually want it to, and then in the third keyframe, you zoom out slightly. It makes it kind of make a pop, and that's what actually makes things smooth. Speaking of smoothness, if you want to make this more, well, smooth, you right-click on one of your keynotes, and you just pick either smooth or fast. Those are usually the kinds I go with. And I'm pretty sure this is extremely off timing of the actual audio, but this is easier to like see than the actual video itself. So then you have something like this. actually, you know what? I noticed it moves fast. If you start making this and you realize it kind of jumps because, for whatever reason, just extend the keyframe slightly more. I'm gonna go to Tutorialistic on this. Yeah, that looks slightly better. And then this one. If you want to make this look a little bit more smoother, you can try doing a linear blur to it. So let's try it on this, on the talk. It's a pretty it looks really cool when you put it together, but like when you actually think about how it's actually made, it's actually kind of pretty easy. But it's not your fault, like you didn't know about it before, because it's kind of things you don't really think about. So if you linear blur, kind of looks better. And if you want, you can add some flashing to your parts or whatever it is you do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helped out somewhat when it comes to working on this. I just call this this effect, I call it basically a camera motion in Sony Vegas, an SD camera motion. So if I say that, that's basically what I mean. But yeah, thanks for watching.